Welcome. This was good. Very good.
The Deputy President, who was representing President Uhuru Kenyatta at the African Green Revolution Forum, decried the slow pace of taking up efforts geared towards cooperation and intra-African trade. Ruto says African countries ought to come up with African solutions to African problems if the continent was to make meaningful development strides.
Why are we struggling to access a market in Europe when the market is next door? But we have made it, because of our geopolitics, we've made it impossible, or we've made it easier to export to Europe than to export to Uganda, or export to Rwanda, or export to the next door. What is all that about?
In a panel discussion with fellow African leaders, the Deputy President called on African countries to rethink their restrictive visa rules and disagreements that have made it almost impossible for intra-African commerce to flourish.
Kenya, we have made a policy decision that every African in this continent can come to Kenya and get a visa at the airport. You don't have... Because we cannot trade more with each other if we make it impossible for us to travel across borders, or to trade across borders, or for services and goods to cross borders. If we make it that much impossible, then all we are talking will be a pipe dream.
Rwanda's President Paul Kagame and Ghana's Nana Akufo-Addo, while supporting Ruto, decried the slow pace by some member states in signing the African Continental Free Trade Area.
UK, France, Germany, wherever, you don't grow coffee. You don't grow tea. But why do you have to transport our coffee, our tea to Europe? You give it some blessing and then send it.
The Continental Free Trade Area has been signed by nearly 50 of the 54 African countries. We require 22 of us to ratify it for the agreement to come into effect. So that's the challenge. Right. So those of us, everybody's talking about inter-regional trade. Kenya has deposited its instrument of ratification. They did it at the same time as Ghana. A few others have done it. The 22, where are they forthcoming? We ought to interrogate ourselves about where the 22 are. Because that is how, very simple, practical step, we can bring it into being.
The African Development Bank and the World Bank puts intra-African trade at a paltry 14%. John Jacob Kuria, Channel 1 News.